Good morning, students. Let us discuss the effects of refraction of light. The various effects of refraction of light. So, first effect of refraction is a coin appears to be raised, and when kept inside water. A coin appears to be raised when kept inside water. So, let us see why is it so. Uh, Ray diagrams sometimes come in the examination, and that is why it is important to give you some idea regarding the ray diagrams. So suppose this is a bowl or a big beaker and it is filled with water, and there is a coin kept at the bottom of the beaker. Then this coin will appear to be raised up a little. Okay, so what is the reason? Now this is because of refraction. Okay, now we have read in class 7, in class 8, that uh, wherever two rays meet, we get the image of that point. So suppose this is the coin, and let us take these two extreme points. Okay, so let us draw two rays. This is one ray, and going uh, from the coin through water to air. This is air medium. This is water medium. So suppose this is the ray, then draw a normal here, and there will be refraction because it is going from water to air. Okay, so it is denser medium, this is rarer medium, so it bends away from the normal. So here this ray which was going from water will bend, and bend in this direction, and it moves away from the normal. So what will be its virtual position? So for that we shall have to draw backwards. Take another ray. Suppose this is another ray of light going from water to air. Then it will also undergo refraction. It will bend away from the normal. And let us now, these two rays will not meet in this direction, because they are diverging, but they can be met and by drawing virtual rays. So their point of intersection of these two virtual rays is here. So this is one extreme point, and its image is this one. Okay, so we have in one side we have been able to show the extreme point, image of the extreme point. This is the extreme point, and the image of this extreme point is this one. Okay, similarly let us take the another extreme point. Let us draw two rays which are going out of this which are going out from here through water to air. These also undergo refraction, so they will bend away from the normal. This is also bend, this ray is also bending away from the normal. So in this direction the two rays cannot meet, they are because they are diverging. So let us draw the virtual rays at the backwards. Then the point where these two rays will meet, and I will give the image of the second extreme point. This is one extreme point, this is one extreme point. So we have got the images of these two extreme points here and here. You will be able to understand just if you minutely observe the ray diagrams. So just we have nothing, we have taken two sets of rays, from one from here, another from here, and they are, after refraction they are diverging out, so they can be met by drawing backward, and we get the images of these two extreme points. So this is the actual position of the coin, and this is the refracted position. Okay, so this is the actual depth or real depth of this coin, and this is the apparent depth of the coin because of refraction. Apparent depth is less than the real depth, and that is why things which are kept inside water seems to be raised up. Okay, so a coin appears raised. Why? When kept inside water? Now this is because of refraction of light rays coming out from the coin. Okay, let us now, this is observer's eye. Observer is seeing that the coin is this one. Okay, not this one. This is the, actually this is the real depth, but we will not feel the real depth, we shall feel the apparent depth of the coin, hence it seems to be raised up. Let us come to another case, why a pencil looks bent when kept inside water. Suppose this is a pencil, and it is just kept in slanting position in this beaker filled with water. Then also we can also take two rays. With the help of two, where the two rays will meet, we shall get the image. Suppose this is one point of the pencil, so light is coming from water to air. This is air medium, and this is water medium. Any rays are going from denser medium to the rarer medium, so they bend away from the normal, draw the normal, and so it will bend away from the normal. So it's a this ray after refraction, this ray after refraction appears to be coming from here. This point will be printed by this point. Just similarly take another point here, from here also take another ray which is going out of water. It will also undergo refraction, it will bend away from the normal. If you draw a normal here, it will bend away. So after refraction this point appears to be this one. Okay, similarly for this point also, from this point also rays are going out, they will undergo refraction, they will bend away from the normal. So this point will be represented by this point. Okay, we can take two rays also. Here I have shown you with the help of two rays. Wherever two rays meet, that is the image. Okay, but it will be very uh, it will be very critical if I take two rays, because so many rays will be get confused. So I have explained here with taking, in book also they have explained taking one ray. This is the real ray and this is the refracted ray. Okay, this is the real ray, this is the refracted ray. This is another real ray, this is the refracted ray. Okay, so after refraction, the position of the pencil, tip of the pencil is coming up to this much. Okay, so if you see, observe the pencil, and you will see this one, you will not see this one, you will see this one, and hence you will feel that the pencil is broken at the surface of water, and at the surface of separation between two media, air and water. So these are the various ray diagrams, two important ray diagrams, and I have drawn in specially for you. So a pencil appears broken because of reflection of light going out of the pencil. A coin appears raised because of rays of light going out from the coin into observer's eye. So these are various ray diagrams, you must practice. Okay, then we have got another important ray diagram of refraction of light through glass prism. Refraction of light through glass prism. So this is the glass prism, this is white ray of light, and it is moving from medium air into glass. This is glass. So here it will undergo refraction because there is light is moving from medium air into medium glass. Whenever light passes from one medium into the one transparent medium into another, it undergoes refraction. Now what about the refracted ray? So draw a normal. Another, this is the original direction of the light ray, but they will not move in the original direction and it will bend. But white light is made up of 7 colors. Okay, so in air, all the speeds of all the rays of white light are the same, but when it enters into another medium, a material medium like glass, the different light gets splitted up because of their different velocity. Okay, when they are moving through glass, they attain different velocities. Okay, so those have 7 rays, 7 colors of white light get separated out, which is called dispersed. So this is one, this is another, this is, so the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. So we have got 7 rays. Now they are moving from glass into the, they will go out. So from they are moving from air into the glass and again from glass back into the air. So here also they will undergo refraction, here also they are undergoing refraction. So for refracted ray, draw the normal at this point of incidence. So now from denser, light is moving from denser to the rarer, so they will bend away from the normal. So yani after this is the incident ray of light, after refraction it has bent in this direction, and due to another refraction it has again bent and bent towards the base of the prism. Okay, because of double reflection. So for any ray, suppose this is violet, this is top one is the red color, so this is the red, it will also undergo refraction and draw a normal, it will bend towards, it will bend away from this is the normal, so it will bend away from the normal. Okay, it is not going in its own direction, it is the, this is the normal, this is the original direction, so it is bending away from the normal. What can you say about that? Is all rays after second refraction they are bending towards the base of the prism. Okay, and got separated out. If I place a screen or any white paper, you will get these different rays of different color, and that is called spectrum. Spectrum is a print which shows different colors. Okay, and this what this is because of this is called, that is, we got different colors of white light because of the reflection through glass prism, and in short we say VIBGYOR, VIBGYOR, violet, indigo blue, blue, green, yellow, orange and red, different colors get separated. And this is the phenomenon which takes place in the clouds after rain. When there is raindrops and sunlight in atmosphere, then raindrops act as a prism, and under sunlight undergoes reflection, producing several colors or 7 colors of white light. Okay, and that is why the rainbow uh, looks colorful, having these 7 colors. So rainbow is a natural example of dispersion of white light or sunlight. So what is dispersion? Dispersion is a phenomenon of splitting up of white light through a glass prism into its constituent colors. The splitting up of white light into its constituent colors due to reflection through glass prism is called dispersion of light. Okay, so that is about the ray diagrams. Now let us come to the book. You will chapter 10. Okay, so we have read refractive index and optical density, rules for refraction. These are the various ray diagrams, and this is the pencil, this is about the coin, this is about again another coin, and now you can, I think you can easily draw. We have already read about the dispersion of white light in a glass prism. I have given you the ray diagram. Just see the ray diagram for dispersion of white light through a glass prism. Okay, these are various activities that when light entering through a window and through and passing through a glass sheet, and you get these reflected rays. The white light gets separated into all 7 colors and giving you the rainbow colors, that is VIBGYOR. Okay, now just see what is a rainbow. What is a rainbow? A natural effect of dispersion of sunlight or white light. Most of us have most of us have had a chance of observing a rainbow. We have seen that after that, when there is cloud and sunlight in the sky, we find sometimes rainbow formation taking place. Just see the picture of the rainbow on the mix. It is a mixture of all 7 colors. We marvel at its beauty and enjoy watching it. When do we observe a rainbow? हम सब रेनबो कब दिखाई देता है? We can get a rainbow if the sun comes out or shines after a rainfall. That is, there must be raindrops in the sky and there must be sunlight. The drops of water suspended in air. The drops of water was suspended in air, then disperse. Okay, get splitted. Disperse means get splitted up. The sunlight in much the same way as a glass prism did in Newton's experiments. So this was glass prism was Newton's experiment. So similar to Newton's experiments, water drops also act as prisms, and refraction of light takes place, separating the different constituent colors of white light or sunlight. Rainbow is thus a natural phenomenon associated with dispersion of sunlight. So if you are asked, give an example of a natural phenomenon because of reflection of white light, it is the formation of rainbow after the rainfall. Okay, now let us come to know about lenses today. Lens, we have, so lens is also an important application of refraction of light. Okay, because lenses are also transparent medium. Okay, besides the glass slab, besides the glass slab and prism, the glass slab is the transparent medium through which light can pass through. Prism is also a transparent medium through which light can pass through. It is lenses that are used very often for studying and using the effects of refraction. So it is lenses that are used for uh, often for studying and using the effects of refraction. What is a lens? A lens is a portion of a transparent medium, reflected transparent reflecting medium bounded by 2 surfaces. Okay, a lens is a portion of a transparent reflecting medium bounded by 2 surfaces. Okay, just we have read about the mirrors and mirrors where we have read about the curved surfaces. So lenses also have got curved surfaces. A lens is a portion of a transparent reflecting medium bounded by 2 curved surfaces. When both or one of these surfaces are is spherical, the lens is known as the spherical lens. Okay, So spherical lens, if the surfaces are curved one, then those are called spherical lenses. Then spherical lenses are of two types. Spherical lenses are of two types: convex or converging lenses, and concave or diverging lenses. In case of mirror, we read about the uh, concave mirror and convex mirror. Okay, concave mirrors are called the converging mirror, but here the convex lenses are called the converging lens. Okay, convex lenses are called the converging lenses, and concave lenses are called the diverging lenses. But in case of mirror, it was opposite. The common shapes of these two types of lenses are shown below. So common shapes of the various types of lenses are this is a convex. If the convex lens is lens whose outer surfaces are curved, both outer surfaces curved outward. देखो outward curved. Okay, that is the middle portion is the thicker and the end portions are the thinner. So this type of lenses are called the double convex lens. Okay, double convex lens. And if one surface is bulging out, okay, outward, then another one surface is convex one, other is a plane one. This type of lenses are called plano-convex, and this is concavo-convex. Okay, and one surface is concave, other is a convex one. Okay, or this is called converging meniscus. So double convex lens, plano-convex lens, and converging meniscus or concavo-convex lens we also can call it. Just see about the diverging lenses, yani concave lenses. Concave lenses. So concave lenses, the curved surfaces are curved inward. देखो, this is also curved inward and this is also curved inward. अंदर तरफ आया. So the result is that the middle portion of this concave lenses are the thinner, but these are thicker at the edges. देखो edges में thicker हो गया, and at the center it is thinner. But in case of convex lens, it is just opposite. It is the convex lenses are thicker at the middle and thinner towards the edges. In case of concave lenses are thinner at the middle and thicker at the edges. देखो, thicker, thinner. है ना, this is thicker, this is thinner. So this is double concave. There are two concave surfaces, curved surfaces, and curved inwards, and this is plano concave. One side is plane, other is concave, and this is convexo concave or diverging meniscus. Diverging meniscus. Okay. So these are various types of concave lenses, and these are various types of convex lenses or converging lenses. Convex lenses are called converging lenses. Convex lenses are converging, and concave lenses are called diverging lenses. So before studying, so in case of these are all transparent medium, so if light passes from air and one medium into these lenses, then the reflection of light will takes place in these cases also. And this is the main point of study of this chapter, how to draw the ray diagrams because of the effect of the lenses. So before reading about the drawing ray diagrams through lenses, let us try to know some definitions related to lenses. Okay, so definitions of some lens related terms. Let us first understand the meaning of a few terms relevant to lenses. So some important terms related to lenses. Number one, centers of curvature. Centers of curvature. The lenses have curved surfaces. Okay, either bulged outward or curved inward. So centers of curvature. Each of the two surfaces of a spherical lens can be regarded as a part of a sphere. Suppose this is a lens. This is a lens. This is the curved surface. So it is a part of the sphere. Suppose this will be a part of this hollow sphere. And suppose this is a, I have made a lens. This is this is one part. Okay, this is one curve. So for this curved surface, what is the center of curvature? It is the center of the sphere. It is the center of the sphere is called the center of curvature of the center of curvature of the lens. Okay, so each of the two surfaces. Now suppose there is another surface, it is this one. So this one will be a part of another sphere. This curved surface, the curved surface of this side will be a part of another sphere. It has got another center. So there is another center of curvature of the lens. So there are two for this surface, this part is a sphere, is a part of this sphere, and this part is this one is a part of another sphere. So there are two centers of curvature, because these two curved surfaces belong to two different spheres. Okay, so there are two centers of curvature. So centers of curvature are the center of the sphere of which the lens is a part, of which the lens is a part. तो देखो center of curvature क्या है ना, each of the two surfaces of a spherical lens can be regarded as a part of a sphere. The centers of these two spheres are known as the centers of curvature of the two surfaces of the lens. Okay, so for this surface there will be center, this side center will be this one, for this surface there will be center in this direction. Okay, this is a curved surface, so its center will be this side. This is a curve whose center will be this side. So we shall get two centers of curvature in case of convex and concave lenses. So center of nothing, the simple definition is very simple. So what is center of curvature? Now these are the centers of the spheres of which the lens is made. Of which the lens is made. Centers of curvature of the lens is the center of the spheres of which the lens is a part. Simple sentence. Now come to radius of curvature. So just in the diagram, this is center C2. This for this surface, this is the center. For this surface, this is the center, because this is the part of this sphere. Okay. Similarly, this also for this curve, this is the center. Okay, suppose this is a big piece of transparent material. Okay, and it has been cut like this, then we can consider that this is a part of this hollow this sphere, and this is a part of this this sphere. Okay, not hollow sphere, intact sphere, any solid sphere. So these are the two centers of this is center C1, center C2, this is center C1, this is center C2. So there are two centers of curvature of a lens. Now radii of curvature, radii. So if there is a curved surface, then it is a part of a sphere. Then sphere will have a radius. Then that radius of the sphere is called the radius of curvature of the lens. Okay, the radii of two spheres of which the lens surfaces are part, are known as radii of curvature of the two surfaces of the lens. So radius of the lens, radius of curved surface of the lens current. So but actually this is the radii of the two spheres of which the lens is made, or of which the lens is a part. Okay, so this is one radius of curvature, and this is one radius of curvature. This is R1, this is R1, this is R2, this is R1, this is R2. From here to here it is R2. So these are nothing. Now come to principal axis. The line joining the centers of curvature of two surfaces of a lens is known as principal axis. Very simple definition, but you have to learn it. What is principal axis? The line joining the centers of curvature. A line joining centers of curvature. This is C1 and this is C2. So if you draw a line, passing through these centers of curvature, then that will be principal axis. The line joining the centers of curvature, or line passing through two centers of curvature of the two surfaces of a lens is called the principal axis. This is center C1, this is center C2. So if you join a line, if you draw a line through these 2 points, and that line is called the principal axis. So this red line is the principal axis of this lens. This red line is the principal axis for this lens, because this line is passing through two centers of curvature of the lens. So the simple definition, if you are asked to write what is the definition of principal axis, simply you will say a short sentence. It is the line passing through centers of curvature of a lens. The line passing through two centers of curvature of a lens is called the principal axis. What is optical center? Optical center. The optical center of a lens is a special point on its principal axis, and it is a special point on its principal axis. A ray of light passing through the optical center of a lens goes straight through it without undergoing any bending, any refraction or deviation from its path. That is called the optical center. So just see, if you see this, see in this picture, and this is a convex lens, and this is a point, this is a central point, and this is a point over the principal axis. It is a point on the principal axis. The optical center of a lens is a special point on its principal axis. If a ray of light passes through this optical center, okay, this special point, then it will not undergo a refraction, it will pass straight. Suppose this is the optical center, so the principal axis passes straight. Any ray passing through this point, will be reflected or go undeviated. Okay, if you come to ray diagrams, you go just see this is a ray passing through object, so it travels straight, it does not go reflection, it travels straight, does not go reflection. In all ray diagrams you'll find we have taken one ray which passes through optical center, which does not undergo reflection, it passes straight, optical center, a ray of light passing through this going straight, ray of light going through optical center passes undeviated. So in this way, so that is the optical center. It is a point of the, it is a special point of the lens through which if any ray passes through, it does not undergo reflection or it pass undeviated, So now optical center. The optical center of a lens is a special point on its principal axis. A ray of light passing through the optical center of a lens goes straight without undergoing any bending or deviation or reflection from its path. Now principal focus and focal length. Principal focus. देखो, our focal length. It turns out that a beam of rays, all parallel to the principal axis of a lens, falls on the lens, falls of falls on the lens. All such rays either all converge to a point on its principal axis or appear to diverge from a point on its principal axis. We call this point as the second principal focus. देखो, all rays क्या बोला है, it turns out that if a beam of rays यानी a lot of rays all parallel to the principal axis of a lens fall on the lens, all rays है ना, all such rays after refraction either all converge to a point on its principal axis or appear to diverge from a point on its principal axis. We call this point as the second principal focus. So देखो, this is a convex lens. Okay, and let a beam of है ना parallel rays strike or incident over this lens, then what will happen? All are parallel, all rays, per these rays which are incident on the lens, convex lens is parallel to the principal axis. So after refraction they are moving from air into, this is glass, it is a lens made of glass, so they will undergo refraction, and they all will bend towards the base of the lens. Can be considered to be made up of a large number of prisms. So in a prism we have come to know that rays bend towards the base of the prism. We can draw prisms like this, and in this side prisms like this, so a lens is thought to be made up of large number of prisms, and in case of convex lens the basis is towards the center, so the rays will bend towards the center. देखो, इसलिए this ray is bending towards the center, इधर center की तरफ झुका हो रहा है, इधर से भी they are bending towards the center, यानी all rays coming parallel to the principal axis after reflection and meet at a point that is called the or converge at a point, that is called second principal focus. Okay, and in case of concave lens, the all rays coming parallel to the principal, this is one ray, after reflection it will appear to come out from here, and now in the concave lens the bases of the prisms, it is also thought to be made up of large number of prisms whose bases are outwards, okay, towards the end. So the base is towards the end, so a reflected ray bend towards the base of the prism, and that is why this incident ray after reflection will bend towards the base of the prism, yani idhar jayega, it will be get diverted, and so similarly this one, it will also get diverge, and this ray after reflection will bend towards the base of the prism, idhar to base है सब का, ये सब prisms माना जाता है इस तरह से, small prism. So after reflection they bend towards the base of the prism. तो इधर वाला ray जो देखो, these parallel rays are diverging, and if we just converge all these rays through virtual rays, then they appear to meet at a point on the principal axis. Okay, so this is the second principal focus. This is the second principal focus in case of a concave lens. Okay, so principal focus is a point on the principal axis at which all rays coming parallel to the principal axis after refraction will either meet in case of convex lens and appear to diverge, and refracted ray appear to diverge from a point on the principal axis in case of concave lens. So this is all about. I shall give on the ray diagrams in detail in case of concave, convex and concave lenses. Thank you.